Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to discuss about what government is. First, before learning what government is, we have to understand how government as an organization came into existence. Without understanding how government came into existence, we can't explain clearly what government is. For that, let us recall our basics in history and what happened in the earlier days. Let us start by understanding what country is first. We will discuss later what government is in a country and how it works, the roles it plays, etc., and the types of government also. So let me ask a same question. This time think and answer in the comments. What is a country? Or answer in your mind. Yes, the answer would be a country is a group of people living at one place, right? Or a country is a group of people residing in a particular territory with a definitive geographical boundaries. They are identified by that geographical boundaries, correct? So when group of people reside at one particular area or live and work together at one area, there are two situational outcomes. One, they live in peace, there is no problem. Two, they live in chaos. The problem arises when they live in chaos. That is, confusion and conflicts arise out of chaos. And to organize these group of people into again a peaceful situation, there came a need of guidance. That guidance in the form of leadership. So, who stood among that group? The stronger person in that group tried to control the whole group. So whatever he is saying, everyone obeyed it because he's stronger. If not, challenge him and make the rules if you win. This form of leadership or this kind of leadership is called kingship or monarchical type of government, which we has seen earlier. So what a king says, everyone accepted him. But the society later days realized that the strongest is not always correct. One person cannot decide the fate of everyone because he is not answerable for what he is doing. If he is a good king, yes, good thing is happening. But what he is an idiot, we cannot depend on what he is going to say, right? This society or a group of people came together and decided that let us form an organization that have multiple people, say 10 members, rather than one person is ruling everyone. The power is distributed among these 10 people. And again, these 10 members who should be as a leaders are again decided and chosen by us itself. So who are in these 10? We will elect them. So they said that we will elect these 10 members, be answerable for their doings and be responsible. So nowadays, this kind of organization is called democratic government. So now go back to the question what government is. So by now you can understand that how people form an organization which rule themselves. Now you can understand government is an organization or an institution which take decisions on behalf of people and get things done and even taking care of them. So what government do? What are the affairs of government? As we said, the first affair is decision making, correct? The decision making regarding utilizing of public resources. So these members collected some funds in the form of taxes, and who should spend that money? The government will spend in utilizing these public resources such as construction of roads and school, which in turn help these society. They also take decisions in regulating the prices of commodities, like whichever they are going to be expensive. In the last onions past became very high rates, right? And petrols. So regulating of prices also, on this the decisions can be taken by the government and increase the supply of electricity. And the government also take an action on many social issues like helping poor, running postal and railway services, etc. And the government also has a job of protecting boundaries of country to maintain peaceful relations with the other countries. And the government has responsibilities like ensuring that all citizens has enough to eat, have good health facilities, and assistance to the people in times of natural disasters like tsunami and earthquake, etc. So, does this have only job and responsibilities and it only take actions? No, it also help in resolving the disputes and conflicts between the people in the times of crimes. It provides solution in the kind of judgment who is right and who is wrong through the courts. So the government also helps people in resolving this kind of conflicts. These affairs are managed by the government on behalf of people. So people are already busy in their life. So they gave permission for an organization to take care of them by exercising leadership to that. So the people can feel secure in their territory. Next, we will go with levels of government. How many levels of government are there? Now take India as a country. So India has its group of people or Indian society, right? So Indian government is managing such a huge population and huge tasks of affairs all around the country. For convenience, what Indian government did was it divided the geographical area into smaller areas. Like whole country is called national level, covers entire states, right? So it divided smaller parts. States, it covers number of villages, towns, localities and geographical area. Example Telangana, Jammu and Kashmir, Tamil Nadu. The state covers entire villages. Next, the local area is called villages. So there are three levels. One is village level, second is state level, third is national level. Now we have understood what is government and the levels of government. Now we will understand how the government functions. For that we will understand laws and government. The function of government is making rules on behalf of us and ensuring that everyone is following them. These rules are in the name of laws. The main function of government is making laws and enforcing them properly, we said. Can we say it through an example? Yes. Take driving license as an example. There is a law saying that all persons driving a motor vehicle must have a license. Why? Because if a person is driving a motor vehicle without having license, how can we identify when he met with some accident who has driven that vehicle? So the person should have license. Okay. How this government is enforcing it? It enforcing through any person who caught driving a vehicle without a license can be either jailed or fined with a large sum of money. We all see that police, whenever we caught in the bike, they will charge us fines. All this because it is enforcing us to follow rules. Who made these rules? Yes, we people only made that for the safety of ourselves. So in a sense, we can say that only making laws is not much of use. They should also be followed. So you may ask a question that near my area, no person is following rules that government is made. What should I do? The solution is he or she can approach the courts and claim that the law is not being followed. And the court can then give orders about what should be done. Next, we will talk about types of government. What are the types of government? As we discussed earlier, if one person is ruling every person of that society, it is called monarchical government or a kingship government. Why? Because he is not answerable for his doings. What if group of people elected by the people rule everyone? It is called democracy. Why? Because elected people should be answerable to the who elected them. So these are the two types of governments which we are familiar and India has undergone until now. And there are other types of government like oligarchy, aristocracy, plutocracy, etc. etc. Google it, but at present we are focusing on two things: monarchy and democracy. So let us focus on democratic government. We said like India is a democracy. India has a history of monarchical government in the past, and at present it is changed from monarchical government to democratic government. Example, earlier we have ruled by Babur, Akbar. We have read in history, right? Now we have been ruled by Modi, Sonia Gandhi, earlier Manmohan Singh, or Chacha Nehru, Indira Gandhi, right? Atal Bihari Vajpayee. So, how this has changed from monarchical to democracy? It has changed in the long and eventful struggle of the people in the form of independence movement. All people together fought for the freedom movement to mainly achieve democracy. Why people kept such an effort to achieve democracy? It is because the features that democracy had, and it attracted everyone. Like democracy has everyone should vote, everyone is equal in front of law, all these kind of features. So let us understand the idea of democracy which we are familiar with. What is a democracy? The idea of democracy is making rules for ourselves. It means that Swaraj, self rule. This is the people can rule themselves by participating in making of these rules. How they participate in making of these rules is by choosing their own leaders. The power to elect leaders is through vote. So the basic feature of democracy is choosing leaders. How? By utilizing the power of vote. So you might get a question that if we are electing some others, how do we say we are participating in making rules? So understand here, if there is a group, every person in this group cannot be a leader. There should be only one and everyone should follow him. So as a group of people, you can choose a leader who is representing your ideas. If your idea is represented, then you are indirectly participating, correct? This type of indirect participation is called representative democracy. Representatives, that is leaders, meet and make decisions for the entire population. So the essence is if you elect a leader and in return he will take care of you. So second feature of democracy. There is another basic rule of democratic government is what is known as universal adult franchise. What is universal adult franchise? Meaning all adults are allowed to vote. Why universal adult franchise has been kept as a basic rule of democracy? If each and every person is not allowed to vote, then how will their ideas will be represented? How everyone want will be fulfilled? How majority peoples will get their wishes or what they wish will be get done? So instead of some people choosing everyone's leader, there should be a chance that everyone having equal say in choosing their leaders. This is the basic rule of universal adult franchise. So in universal adult franchise, everyone has the right to vote in choosing their leaders. So when did this universal adult franchise as an idea came into existence? This idea came at the time of First World War. So let me tell a small story that happened in the World War I. So every government at the time of World War, every people of men were called for fighting in a war. And because of this, women were called up to do works that are earlier considered men's work. Many women began organizing and managing different kinds of work as same as man. When people saw this thing, they began to wonder why they had created so much unfair stereotypes about women. What they were capable of doing, we thought like they can't do. So women began to see as being equally capable of making decisions, completing of works what men did. There are suffragettes demanded that right to vote for all women and get their demands heard, and they changed themselves and they formed railings in public places, and many were imprisoned and went on hunger strike, mainly to fight that we are equal with the men. So American women started this movement first time. American women got the right to vote in 1920, while women in the UK got vote in the same terms as men in 1928. So in the Europe it started women are not less than men. Please avoid the stereotype of looking woman. Now, does the government of the world willingly share this power? No, the poor, the woman, and the a person who doesn't have money had fight for the participation in the government. So all this happened before the independence. In India, at the time of independence or before the independence, only small minority was allowed to vote. Therefore, they came together to determine the fate of majority. This is unfair means of practice, right? Gandhiji and many leaders has shown this unfair practice and they said that this should be stopped immediately. Everyone should has right to vote so that they can choose their leaders. This is the way the universal adult franchise has came in India. Writing in the journal Young India in 1931, Gandhiji even said that I cannot possibly bear the idea that man who has wealth and have the vote, but the man who has got character and no wealth and literacy have no vote. Oh man, that man who works honestly by the sweat of his brow day in and day out is not having the vote for just crime of being poor. This is to be stopped at any of cost. This was the words Gandhiji have said. And by this we have understood that what is government, what are the types of government, how governments are formed, and the laws, why, how it functions through laws, and we have discussed about democratic government. That's it for this video. Thank you. Have a good day. Good luck.